Hey YouTube, what's going on and welcome back to Klarus Things. Today we're going to be checking out a brand new release from Klarus. This is the Flat Tac X2. I've already reviewed the Flat Tac X1 on my channel, so this is kind of an updated version of that. So first let's go ahead and check out what comes in the box here. Of course I have already unboxed it. You'll see right off the bat here, it does give us some basic information. Ultra slim palm sized flashlight. I would say that's pretty accurate. 3,000 lumens, it's got ceramic beads, it's got 5-mode instant on, and it's got a dual switch. So pretty cool stuff we've got going on here. 1500 milliamp built-in battery. I don't know of many of these flat style flashlights that have a battery you can remove, maybe one or two. So you kind of have to expect that, and it's going to be IPX6 rated, so that is nice to see. Now what comes in the box, we do have a user manual. We do have a user interface card here, which I really like that they provide these kind of separate from having to go through the manual. A little bit of marketing material, the case that the flashlight comes in, and a USB A to C recharging cable. Next up, let's take a look at the dimensions, which I'll throw up on the side of the screen. And while we're taking a look at that, let's look at some size comparisons here. So what I have to compare it to is the Klarus HD01 Pro. Unfortunately, I do not have the Flat Tac X1 on me tonight, so we're just going to be able to look at this, another flat style flashlight. You'll see it is quite a bit shorter than the HD01 Pro there. It's also tad bit thinner since the HD01 kind of rounds out a bit there on the head, and you'll see the tail is quite a bit thinner as well. And even on width, it's going to be a bit longer, but you can really see there how flat the styling is, whereas this is a bit more curved on the HD01 Pro. Now, let's take a look at the design here. So we've got two separate buttons, just like on the Flat Tac X1. We've got some really nice lines and contours and everything going on. It's very attractive light. It's aesthetically pleasing in my opinion. We do have a safety lock option on this light, USB-C recharging, rubber flap, and there's our little port there. I will say it's a pretty good rubber flap there. About as good as you can get for rubber at least. We do have a one-way clip here. Very good retention on that. It does curve up a bit to help this carry a little bit deeper in your pocket. Still not quite as deep as I would like, but that's really not too bad, to be honest. Now we do have the LED screen here. As you can see, it doesn't always show up great on camera, but it looks really nice in person. And then down here, we do have those ceramic beads, which are kind of meant to be glass breakers or whatever. And we've got dual white light LED output here. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the performance numbers on the side of the screen. And next up, let's take a look at the user interface. I'll go ahead and throw this card back up here real quick so you guys can take a look at that. And we'll just kind of put it in action here. So the lock and unlock is off this red button here, and it's a double click to both lock or unlock. You'll see it says unlock. If I want to lock it, now it says locked. Let's get it back to unlocked. I will say on the Nightcore EDC 29 that I got, I love having that lock off a side switch instead of a button sequence. Kind of wish they would have went with a little side lock button or something like that, but double click still not bad. So now the light is unlocked. So first of all, we have the ability to hold down the red light for turbo, which is really bright, as you can see. You can also click it for a strobe mode. All right. And then here's going to be your main button that you're using most of the time, this larger black button. And these do have just some little bumps on it that make it a little bit easier to grip and easier to press. Feels pretty nice. You're definitely going to be able to click it both barehanded and in gloves. So I can hold down for moonlight, which by moonlight, really it's just a low mode. 15 lumens is not considered moonlight in my opinion. You'll see there the screen tells us our level, battery, and how many lumens we're getting. Love it. So anyways, you can hold for a moonlight, or the low setting I should say. We can also click just to get into our normal sequence here, which is going to be off of memory mode. I'm going to click again and it's going to cycle from high down to low. Okay. So you see there, it always cycles down. Now let's leave it off on the high mode, hold the turn off, press to turn it back on, and we're back in that high mode. So it does have that memory mode. Now let's go ahead and take this Klarus outside and see what it can do with some beam shots. All right, now that we're back in, let's talk final thoughts on the Klarus Flat Tac X2. I have been carrying this quite a bit. I already like the Flat Tac X1. The only difference is that thing is so long, it's not overly comfortable to carry in my pocket. So they basically just made it way shorter and easier to carry. I love that. I love the design on it, the LED screen, nice clip. The user interface is super easy to use. I mean, overall, this light makes me very happy. This is definitely a light that I feel like was styled for somebody like me. I do have one issue with this light though, and that is that I just feel that they use too floody of beams. I mean, yeah, that is super bright, but I want something like SFT 25Rs, SFT 40s, something like that. But for me, these LEDs are just a bit too floody for me to be considered a full-on tactical light. So I've mainly been using this more as just a general EDC light, and I think it's great for that, to be honest. It's kind of a nice hybrid. It gives you that tactical feel if that's more of your thing, while still being overall pretty good at just being a general EDC light. So I do like it a lot, but if Klarus wants this to be taken seriously as a more of a defense light or tactical style light, I think that they need to give us a little bit better LED emitters for spotlight, in my opinion. Now, with all that said, I was sent this as a pre-production model, so this has not been released yet. I have no idea what the price is going to be. I really don't know a lot of the information, at the time of me recording this video that's going to be available when it actually releases. But I will say, as far as carrying and using this light, yeah, it does have a couple things that I would improve, but overall, very nice light and definitely something to check out. And at the time of me posting this, I should have some kind of link for you to check this out, order it. However they're going to sell this, I should have some form of link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great week.